We begin tonight with a bombshell development in Windsor-Tecumseh Lakeshore, just weeks before the federal election. A city councillor who had hoped to represent the Conservatives is now off the ballot after CTV News uncovered controversial comments he made on a podcast. The fallout was swift, and tonight the spotlight is on what happens next. With how this story was uncovered and what it means for voters in our region is CTV's Sanjay Maru tonight. Sanjay.
It was a little more than a week ago that Councillor Mark McKenzie announced that he was the candidate in Windsor-Tecumseh Lakeshore. CTV News obtained audio from a podcast episode in 2022, one that raised serious concerns inside the party. Those recordings have triggered the fallout and renewed debate over who is fit to hold public office.
9 days after Windsor City Councillor Mark McKenzie announced he is running as the Conservative candidate for the riding of Windsor-Tecumseh Lakeshore, the party has ousted him over comments made in an episode of a 2022 podcast. In it, McKenzie and his co-host discuss whether Canada should bring back the death penalty for the most violent criminals, while also floating the idea of public hangings as a deterrent.
Charles Manson, people like that, Jeffrey Dahmer. You know what I'm saying? If you're 100% certain, Epstein's, and this is what I'm saying, Justin Trudeau. They did kill Epstein. You like how I throw Trudeau in there too, right?
In a statement Tuesday morning, a Conservative campaign spokesperson said the comments are clearly unacceptable and McKenzie will no longer represent the party as a federal candidate.
So I got a call this morning at 7:30 a.m. from party headquarters. And they said, we have a concern. They called back. So this was 3-4 minutes later and said, don't worry about sending it. We've already made our decision. You are not going to be the candidate moving forward. Don't speak to the media.
McKenzie maintains the podcast was satire, part of a character he developed during his time in radio.
I don't think we should be hanging prime ministers or anything. Look, did I disagree with Justin Trudeau? Absolutely.
McKenzie is still serving as the councillor for Windsor's Ward 4, but an online petition calling for his resignation is gaining traction.
If you want to be a shock jock, be a shock jock. If you want to be an MP, this is not the kind of behavior or comment that is actually, not just allowable, but it's not befitting of an elected official at any level.
Former Windsor City Councillor Reno Bordelin says while some in the public may want McKenzie removed, Ontario's Municipal Act offers very few options to make that happen. A complaint to the city's Integrity Commissioner could result in penalties, including up to 90 days without pay or removal from committee roles.
But there isn't any formal process to remove the person from the seat unless they did something illegal and were going to prison.
I still am on City Council. I was elected on City Council. This stuff came out before I was on City Council, and people knew when I was knocking on the doors that this audio was out there. So I'm not going to hide from anything.
And later this afternoon, we did reach back out to Mark McKenzie to ask if he has plans to run as an independent. He says he has not made that decision just yet.
Okay, do we know who is going to replace him as a Conservative candidate in that riding?
Yeah, so I did reach out to the local riding association for the Conservatives in Windsor-Tecumseh Lakeshore, along with the party through a spokesperson. Neither got back to me, so still some questions on whether that will happen or if the election will just continue without a candidate for the Conservatives in that riding.
Okay, Sanjay Maru tonight, thank you for this.